What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be telling you guys a little story that's supposed to be entertaining, and as a little disclaimer, this is not to create some sort of pity party for me. I do not need your pity. It is not to complain or whine. It is just for entertainment. So without further ado, let's get started. Long story short, this is a story about how I met this girl. I was at the gym doing my workout, my aerobic workout. You know how it's more important than strength training. So I'm there. I think I was on the elliptical machine. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a machine where you have your feet locked in and you're pretty much doing strides and pulling the bars back and forth. And I'm doing that. And for me, 10-15 minutes of that on a decent resistance, I am good. I'm done. I am out of there. But that day, there was this one girl, and there's literally no one else there. There's a lot of men, and I don't care about men, but there's this one girl there, and she was on the line in front of me, and I was just trying to do my workout, and I'm not gonna say whether or not I got on that elliptical because there's a girl in front of me, but there it was. And long story short, I'm done my workout and I see her and she's doing her thing, ripping it apart, going super fast on this thing. God knows what resistance she's on, but she's speeding through that thing. And I'm like, dang, she's got quite a body. So I'm sitting there going okay, what should I do? I mean, I'm done my workout. Maybe I can catch her on her way off this machine or something. And I end up staying on that freaking machine doing my workout, because you can't just stand on that thing just relaxing. You have to be working on that machine, otherwise you look like a weirdo just standing there on that machine. So I end up using that as motivation to get me to do another freaking 45 minutes of this workout. I'm already dying after the next 5 minutes of this thing, and I'm pushing hard because one, I know it's good for me. Two, I know I can just go up and talk to her, but I'm using all these excuses to rewire this so that I have a harder workout because I know it's better for my body. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared. So long story short, I'm waiting for her to get off this machine, and lo and behold, she stays on there for not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, 45 minutes. She's on this machine, and I am dying on there, constantly, convincing myself this is for better fitness. Just keep going, and sometimes it is better etiquette to wait for them to get off, but I learned from that experience, heck, there's no good opportunities, and sometimes it may be better just go up and talk to her, because you don't know if she's some sort of marathon trainer trying to do her 2-hour daily routine, and you're gonna be waiting for a long ass time. And so, long story short, 45 minutes later, she finally gets off, and I'm dead. I'm already looking around the room, reading articles, and all of a sudden I check up on her after my 5-minute thing, she's long gone, and I'm like, shoot. And I finally get off this thing, kind of happy that I did the workout, and I'm like, okay, whew, I got my workout done. It's all worth it either way. And luckily I managed to catch this girl as she was getting her stuff in the locker or whatever. Can't remember exactly. I think maybe she went to the bathroom first, so I just put my hands up like, oh god damn it, she's gone. And this wasn't the first time it's happened either. So if you guys want a serious video on business, not business, serious, non-business, but serious dating advice, or serious advice on girls at the gym, I'll probably make a video on that, because from real experience, not those fake videos online where the girls are giving generic advice and they've never actually experienced it, or the guy who's giving advice on approaching a girl at the gym. Heck, that's all crap, because when you actually do it, and when you've actually thought about doing it and been at the gym, it's completely different. And you can't just sit around just thinking, I'm gonna be polite, wait for her to finish her workout, even if she's on like some sort of machine, because sometimes they got their headphones on, sometimes they're doing one thing, and as soon as they get off one, they make a beeline to the other without a moment's notice, and they're walking fast. You kind of just, you have to gauge it by how intensely they're, focused on their thing, and what they look like. If they have a stone cold face and you can tell they don't want to be approached, it's a whole another thing. But that's a video on its own. So long story short, I think it's done. It's not. Luckily, she's at the locker. I start talking to her. One of those rare occurrences where I have the courage to do so, and boom, it goes horribly. Yeah. And so, me being my awkward self, I'm saying all these like really crappy stuff, stone cold face because I'm nervous, not smiling at all, just very serious, just this monotone voice, like, hey, are you, you look Hispanic, what, do you speak Spanish, trying to play, try and be playful. I do this stupid thing. Do you speak Spanish? And then I say some stupid thing in Spanish, like hablas español, and she did the typical hot girl, too good for you sort of thing, like 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 that wasn't a funny joke sort of thing. So long story short, I'm doing my thing. Thing is going downhill fast. And lo and behold, I think it's dead, it's gone, and it felt like 5-10 minutes, but I'm sure it was only 2 minutes into the conversation. I'm like, it's over, I start asking her what she's doing here, blah yada yada. She gives a few short responses, and I'm like, I think I screwed up, and I'm like, okay, if you don't think I've screwed up, then perhaps maybe we can exchange phone numbers, or say something like that. And long story short, she gave me her number. Like, I don't know, like, honestly, like, how or why, but maybe she was just being nice. A lot of girls are like that. And so she gives me her number, and I put it into my iPhone, which I finally got. Years before that, for many years, I had my crappy phones, my touchscreen phones, but finally I got my iPhone and I'm like, sweet. And so she puts her number into my phone using the keypad thing. There's a numerical keypad thing, but I didn't know at the time that was not how you add contacts, because if you just let them type in the number in the keypad, there's no save button, or at least at the time I couldn't find a save button. So I took that phone, and after I walked away, I was like, okay, I can't save this, and I don't have enough memory capacity to just memorize these 10 digits. So what do? I take a screenshot of the freaking phone, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're good. It even doesn't work out. And so I walk away. And then, like, I would say like half a day later, I checked. Okay, not a half a day, I would say a full day, 2 days, 3 days later, because I had a lot of stuff going on. I was kind of nervous. I didn't know how to follow up. I checked the phone, and I realized, holy crap, I did not, the screenshot did not capture the number. It was cut off at the top, I believe. The number was cut off at the top. Even though it was dialed in, it was cut off at the top when I tried to screenshot it. Maybe if you still have an iPhone, it's the same thing for you. Test it out yourself. Anyhow, I was just staring at this picture, this screenshot picture of just my keyboard, and I'm just like, wow. And it was amazing, because like at the time I was like, holy crap, I think she might actually like me. Because right before I asked for a number, I was like, are you single? And she was like, yes, very single. God knows why she said it like that, but she did. And so I got my number, eager beaver, doing my thing, and I'm there with a cut off screenshot of my keypad. And so I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I'm going to this gym, okay, sometimes looking around for her, moving on, looking out at other girls anyways. Long story short, the gym, it's a place to work out. You won't catch that many amazing girls at the gym. Most likely you're going to meet a lot of guys, or it's going to be deserted, or it's just going to be your average folk at the gym trying to do their own thing. Anyhow, weeks later, just by chance, by the time I saw, pretty much forgotten about her, I see her again in the same area. And I believe I just passed by, and because there's so many people around her, and because at the time I was like coming from the wrong place, I knew if I had approached based on just my attitude and my body language, I couldn't help it but come across too, antagonistic in a way, like, hey, I'm hitting on you. And I didn't want that attitude when there's all these other people around, when she was stretching in one of those mats at the gym. So I was like, I'm not doing shit. So I didn't do anything. The day goes by, and then like 1 or 2 weeks later, I see her again on the same mat. This time there's like 1 or 2 people there, and I'm like, screw them, I'm gonna go for it. I stand there, and I'm trying to be cool and stuff, and I walk up, and she's this like Hispanic girl, quite attractive. I would say somewhat model type, but definitely not some like A-list Victoria's Secret model, but still, good looking girl. I'm trying to be cool. I walk up all the way to her, and I believe I mumbled something out. I was like, hey, or something. She didn't hear me. And I walked up, I kept walking, and I walked up all the way up to her, like point blank, and she didn't hear me. She didn't notice me. She was still like stretching. She was doing her like freaking the hamstring stretch. When you're sitting, you have one of your feet extended. She's got her head, bowed down, pulling her hamstring. And I walk up all the way to her. She doesn't notice, and then I'm like, oh shoot, and I start walking away from her, like doing a little like circle so I don't come across too close. And then I go in again with like the hey. It's just really awkward and weird. And so I've circled around, and then I'm like, hey again. She looks up, and by the time she looked up, I had sort of circled back, and I was pretty close to her, and she was just like, whoa, hey. And then then what happens was she saw me, she was like, whoa, and then she went back to her stretching, like her face, her eyes went back to the stretching. And then I was just like, what do I do? And one could reason, hey, I had bad body language. I didn't follow up with anything. My facial expression and everything after I said hi and she saw me was bad. Maybe she was shy. Who knows? Probably all these things. And hey, it's a lesson for something I should do in the future so I don't come across so awkward. But I probably came across very, nervous, shy, awkward. I just say, hey, she looks up at me. I don't follow up with anything. She looks back down, in a split second. She's doing her thing. So I decide to sit next to her, like right next to her. And then I do that for about like, God knows how long, 2 to 5 seconds. And honestly, I don't remember if I said anything. The logical thing that I typically would do would be say something like, how's it going? I don't know if I said that. If I did, I think she would have just said yes. Not yes, but like good. Or something like that. But now that I think about it, I don't think I said anything. I just sat down next to her, and I stared at her trying to think of something to say. and somewhat taken aback because at the time I was being I made a mistake, and I was just thinking that she like reacted badly to me, when in reality it was somewhat my fault, because you know I just didn't follow up with anything. But long story short, I wasn't a man. Bada bing, bada boom. 5 seconds of silence, and then I was like, shoot, I'm out of here. And I walked out of there really awkwardly, and boom, never saw her again. So that's my story with this beautiful Hispanic girl. And what can I say? You know, quite strange at the time. I remember walking out there kind of like mad too. It was quite funny. I was like, somewhat mad. I'm like, "Ugh, so she doesn't like me anyways. Uh, I can't believe she just, I knew it. Da, 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 da." And it's kind of funny because obviously, looking back, maybe that was true, but hey, heck, you didn't really say much. Perhaps she was waiting for me to arrange something, and I didn't. And heck, even if she was sort of standoffish, or maybe she was, like many girls, giving her phone number for to be nice, and didn't want anything to do with me. Heck, I still could have spun it around, done that sort of Hispanic chase when the girl is already pushing me away, sort of thing. But heck, maybe she did like me. Maybe she was just a little bit shy. Maybe she was waiting for me to respond. But I shied away. I thought she didn't like me. I thought she was, when she wasn't like super receptive when I saw her again, I took that as a bad sign, and never saw her again. So am I bummed? Slightly, but heck, these are things in life that you have to learn from. If you sit there just crying, you're just wasting time, and it's not really benefiting you. It's really hurting you. It's just giving you, it's an hour of your life wasted, of your precious short time on this earth, complaining. So, long story short, it's a great thing to learn from, and it's a good attitude to have to not dwell on these things. But heck, that's what happened. And if I ever see that Hispanic girl again, you know what to do. But that's all I gotta say. And yeah, adios. As always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.